Hey there, greetings. Karen Clay here, somatic unwinding and the Feldenkrais method. I've got one more version of spine segments to share with you. So let's begin, please, on our backs. Lengthen your legs. Sense the weight through the back of your pelvis, the weight through the skull, the weight through the heels. Which one seems to be the heaviest to you? And then the next heaviest and the lightest of the three. How much space is under your lower back? And could you slide a hand underneath it? Is there that much space there or less than that much space there? Then please bend and stand your legs. And we're going to begin as we did last week with rolling up the spine slowly, starting at the bottom and going all the way up. Just to refresh yourself and to give yourself a chance to check in with each of your vertebrae or each of the vertebrae that you can sense. Some of them may feel tender, some of them may feel 2 inches apart from the next vertebra, some of them may feel crowded with their neighbors. No muscles, just pressing against the floor. And let's make some alterations to how we use our feet to see what we can discover about our spine. So please start by bringing your heels as close to your pelvis as you can and roll up again. Noticing how that makes the movement different. If you like it better or if you don't like it as well. And repeat that several times. So we're using the floor. You're just going to repeat that on your own to give us a sense of the spinal segments, what we call the spinous processes, the sticky outy bits, the tail of the airplane of each vertebra, and how it meets the ground and how close it is to its neighbor, how flexible it is, how responsive it is. And now let's try a different variation. So come back down and move your feet further away from you than you normally would. And roll up again and sense how that changes how the force moves through your spine. It's a little bit less direct, isn't it? It moves more in an upward towards the top of the head direction than in a straight into the ground direction. You may like this version better. It may feel easier or softer. You may not like it as well. It may be too hard on your legs for you. So good. Now bring your feet back to whatever your normal position is. And then bring your feet all the way together so they're touching. And roll up again. Now sense how changing the base of support through the feet changes your ability to roll up your spine. So by creating these different positions, we're consciously creating what we call constraints, meaning there's a limitation to what you can do with your feet together that's going to teach you something, give you a different lens on your spine than always doing the movement from exactly the same foot position. Okay, you can spend as much time as you want with this, but I'm going to move us on for the sake of the length of the video. Now move your feet out wider than your shoulders and see how this affects the movement. If it clarifies certain areas or if it clouds certain parts of your spine, how the force changes. Slowly and deliberately, without muscle, you're not tightening your abdominal wall at all. Your belly's soft. You're using your feet in the ground to create enough ground force to move your spine away from the floor and to roll the force towards the top of your head, like an asphalt roller. You know, when they lay blacktop, or in the 60s when they used to lay blacktop, they had these big giant rollers that they would flatten out the asphalt with. All right, now come back to the middle and take your right foot wide and your left foot in the center. Now this is going to be interesting because you're now introducing an uneven force through your spine that's probably going to make it so that the first part of the movement you roll up the center of your spine, and then at some point you're going to cross your spine and start to roll towards your left shoulder, because the right foot is so much further apart, away, sideways, lateral from the midline as the left foot. This is going to cause a diagonal to move through you from your right foot to your left shoulder. Good. Come back to center and let your legs down. Take a rest. We'll just do it in silence here. You can listen to all of the sounds in your world, the airplanes, the cars, the noise of the heater, the noise of your breathing, the noise of the birds. Then please come again, bend and stand your legs. Put your feet in your regular neutral position, and then make your left foot be much wider than your right, and roll up again, so that now you're going to roll the force in the direction of your right shoulder. It doesn't matter if it gets all the way there, but in my experience, at some point you're going to cross the midline and start to go to the right of your spine as you roll up further. So now you're rolling in the upper part, you're actually rolling over ribs. So you start to get a sense of, oh, that's my rib cage I'm rolling on. I'm rolling on something that's about 2 inches from the center of my vertebra. Great. Now bring your left foot in one tiny bit, and then bring both feet to the left and roll up your spine again. Now this will be very interesting for you because you're so off balance in a certain sense because your feet are not under your midline. And any of you who have scoliosis like I do will discover the parts of your spine that don't know how to twist. And it may be on this side or it may be on the other side. But you're going to start moving up the spine, and at some point you're going to cross the midline and start to roll a little bit more in the direction of the right shoulder, because you've created this diagonal force from your feet through your hip joints and into your pelvis. Make sure that you're not holding your chin or your neck, but that your neck and chin are soft and available to come towards your chest as you roll up, and relax back towards the beginning place as you come down. Now move your right foot wide and add your left foot so that they're right next to each other. And then roll yourself up again. Oh boy, is this my scoliosis side. So those of us who have scoliosis will find one of these directions very challenging to negotiate, because it's asking the spine to rotate opposite its pattern. The scoliosis pattern is a twisting, side bending movement through the whole spine. So just playfully, lightly, gently Good. Come back to the center. Lengthen your legs and rest again. And now let's do a post test with the feet in your beginning position. Sense how easily and smoothly and segmentally you can use the movement to sense your spine. As if the bones could move themselves. Then lengthen your legs on the floor and sense your lumbar curve. Does it feel flatter to you? Do you want to measure it and see? Are the three segments, the rib cage, the heels, and the pelvis, closer to each other in weight, or have they gotten more disparate? You feel more uniform, more cohesive, more solid? Please roll yourself to your side and come up to sitting. And please do take a walk before you get back to your day. It's always very useful to sense it in movement. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.